All right, folks, check it out. This is Thor, 8-month-old Rottweiler, pulls horrible on the leash. And in this video, we're gonna show you in as little as 5 to 10 minutes how you can fix your dog's walk once and for all. So they stop pulling you down the street, they stop ripping your arm out of your socket, and you can have a dog walking perfectly on a loose leash next to you from here to the end of time. All right, let's get into it. Now, before we get started, gotta plug today's sponsor, DIYcanine.com, where we help you train your dog from zero to hero, no matter where you are in the world. All ages, all breeds, all issues. If you wanna find out more, click the link below. Now let's get into the video. All right, let's get started with step one. Now, step one involves food. If your dog's not food motivated, you can skip step one and go right to step two. But let's just say you got a younger puppy, you got a dog that loves food or treats. All you're simply gonna do is throw a piece of food out, let him eat that food, and then pop him back and say, come on over here. And what we're doing is doing what's called a correction with direction, or at least prepping him for it. So pop on the leash means come back and get paid. Before we move on to step two, we might have to ask ourselves whether or not we need to use a prong collar. You might be in a country where you can't use a prong collar. No problem. You can do this without a prong collar. You just got to do it a lot harder. But if you live in the amazing country of the United States of America, where freedom still reigns supreme, and you'd like to use a prong collar, then we highly recommend you check out Herm Sprenger. 2.25 millimeter is the application we'd use for most dogs, but you might use a micro or you might use a 3.0, depends on the size of your dog. All right, so step two is what we call the corrective U-turn. Whether you're doing it on the flat collar or on the prong collar, in this case, we're going to be single hook to a prong collar for maximum effectiveness for this 75, 80 plus pound dog that's been getting away with pulling for a long time. The basic premise is while they're out in front, not paying attention, you're gonna have to have a little slack in the line. I understand if the line's tight because they're pulling, no problem. Step up, create the slack. As soon as you have the slack, you're gonna grab the leash like this, lock it into your hips, and turn and go that way. What that's gonna create is a picture in the dog's mind. Oh, what's that, a squirrel? And they're gonna feel an impact. Ow, what was that? He's gonna turn around just like he did and simply see you walking the other way. That's the most important part. Don't be standing there looking at your dog. Don't talk to your dog. Don't baby your dog. There's nothing to be said. They learn that quickly in as little as 1, 2, maybe 3 reps. I better be paying attention to the person holding the leash, because if they turn and I don't turn with them, something unpleasant's gonna happen. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get that party started and show you what a corrective U-turn looks like. It happens very quick, so pay attention. All right, so he's out front. I have to come up, create slack, and then when the timing's right, which it wasn't, I simply turn and go the other way. That simple. Let's see, after just that one little correction, if it makes a difference. Sometimes just one correction will make all the difference. So start walking. You should already see a huge difference. Oh, you see him check in? That's the difference. He's not looking. I didn't tell him to look. He's going, I gotta watch this crazy a-hole. He's likely to turn. Now, if I turn and he turns, yes, he gets paid. It's really that simple. Again, 1 corrective U-turn, maybe 2 or 3, and that's it. If you gotta do more than 2 or 3, you are doing it wrong. Which, by the way, if you wanna dive in deeper on the concepts we're explaining here, all of it's covered in our incredible industry-leading course called The Perfect Walk, where we show you with a multitude of different dogs, different sizes, different ages, different breeds, different temperaments, how to do this same exact thing. With the prong collar, without the prong collar, you name it. We wanna make sure this is available to anyone, everywhere. But again, it's as simple as that. Now, he's already walking 10 times better, but I would say his attention's like 50-50. I'm looking for about 80%, 20%. Why? Because if we go for a walk 50-50, when there's no distractions about, I only have 50% of his attention, what do you think happens when a cat, squirrel, another dog comes popping out? I don't have 50-50 anymore. I don't have his attention. It's gonna be 100% on that other thing, back to 0. That's why I like my walks to be around 80% attention on me. When I ask you to heel, I need 80% of your attention so that if something pops out of the bushes or a dog comes around the corner, your percentage attention drops from 80 to 50%. And as soon as I see it drop to 50, I'm gonna do what's required to get it back up to 80, which is what we're gonna show you in step 3, how we go from 50-50 to 80-20 or better. It's what we call the sudden stop pop, but I also call it the ninja stop and pop, because you gotta be like a ninja, baby. It's about being really quiet and not telegraphing to your dog what's about to happen. Remember, we're talking about 50-50. We're walking with the dog. All I want you to do is pick a spot on the ground. When you stop, because your dog is not paying attention to you, they're gonna continue to walk. As they continue to walk, you simply take the leash and pop it back. The sweet spot though, it's all about how you hold the leash. You don't want to be choked up on it. You don't want to be back here. You're going to want about 2 foot of leash in your hand roughly. So there's a little bit of slack. As they go over the line, you're just going to pop back. Same concept. Let's get started. There's a couple of sticks laid out only for your viewing pleasure. I wouldn't use the sticks, but I want you to see. I'm going to stop approximately on the stick. If he passes the stick, He does not pass go, he does not collect $200, he just meets the end of the leash. Let me show you what that looks like. So we're gonna start walking. He's kind of checking in with me because he doesn't want another one of those U-turn corrections. So let's see what happens. You see how he passed the line? He passed the line, he got a little correction. On a scale of 1 through 10, that was like a 1.5, 2, enough to get his attention. Now there's another stick. If you do this right, they learn pretty quick. So we'll see what he does on this other stick coming up here. So we're gonna go ahead and start walking. You're gonna see him checking in a lot more with me now. He's like, I don't know, buddy. I don't know what you're gonna do. And he caught it. That's when we go, yes, and he gets paid the big bucks. If you do a good job, you get paid. If you screw up, I'll pressure you so you do a better job so that you can get paid. Now I'd like to do one more with no stick. We're just gonna see if he's paying attention to us. And that's all your job is, that's it, that's the end of step 3, you're done. But again, without further ado, let's just see how much he's gonna pay attention to us. Heel, this is the first time I'm gonna say that word because I think he's gonna do a good job. You see these moments where he's paying attention, not paying attention. While he's paying attention, this is a stop and reward. Yes, why did he stop? Because he saw me stop. If you do this correctly, 1 to 3 U-turn corrections, and your dog's gonna go from 6 feet out to like somewhere between 6 inches to 2 feet out and kind of side-eyeing you. Yes, that's that 50-50 we were talking about. Then you go to the step 3 we're showing you now to bring him from 2 feet, 1 foot 6 inches to the sweet spot, baby, and you're done. It's called the cheater's heel. Folks, I promise you it's that simple. We got a ton of videos on this. We just use different dogs in different environments to show you this absolutely works. Really look forward to seeing you in the comments below. Let us know how it worked, where you're from, the size of your dog, how old they were, how bad they were pulling. Kind of tell us that before and after, because my favorite thing to read those comments and hear the success stories from folks all over the world just like you who are using our technique and achieving incredible results. Now, once again, if we can do this for you on your walk in as little as 5 to 10 minutes, imagine what we can do with all the other aspects of you and your dog's life. We have every course you need to train your dog or puppy from 0 to hero. Check it out at DIYcanine.com. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.